A couple seconds.
Okay.
All right.
Is it playing? Oh, that's awkward. Okay, oops. Hi, everybody. Oops.
We'll just give it a few minutes and let people join.
And awkwardness.
30 seconds and we can get started. Don't mind me.
Good to go. Alright. Hi, everybody. It's Karina here. Doing this video for Team Absolute today. We're going to be doing some Hatha flow yoga. So I'll take you through the sequences with lots of modifications so that all skill levels are welcome. I'll give you just a minute to roll out your mat and join me at the front in standing position. So we're going to begin with some sun salutations. And when you're ready, we're going to, on an inhale, bring our arms up. On an exhale, forward fold. Inhaling to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhaling your hands down, and then lowering down into chaturanga. Inhaling up into cobra, flipping those toes underneath for a downward facing dog. And here we're going to wait just a few breaths just to relax and get those joints moving. So feel free here to just pedal your feet, or you can just keep them straight, working those heels to the ground. That's up to you. And breathing in and out, keeping those hips nice and high, keeping those back legs nice and straight. And curving that upper body downwards towards the floor. And when you're ready, walking those feet to your hands. On an inhale, we'll halfway lift to a straight back. Exhaling our hands down. And on an inhale, we'll slowly rise all the way back up. And hands to heart center. So we will do this a couple more times, so get ready with those feet hip width apart on your mat. Palms facing forward, and on an inhale, we'll lift those arms. And an exhale, we'll fold forward. Inhaling to a halfway lift, straight back. Exhaling those hands down, stepping or popping back into your high plank, and lowering down into chaturanga. Inhaling up into cobra here, breathing. And when you're ready, flipping those toes underneath for a downward facing dog. And again here, you can just rest for about 5 breaths. We're going to do some pedaling or maybe a body yawn, just lifting your leg above your body. Just giving it a nice yawn, a nice stretch in those hips. Excuse my sniffling. I promise it's not corona. That was a bad joke. And when you're ready, we're going to walk those feet to our hands. And inhale, halfway lift to a straight back. Exhaling our hands down. Inhaling and lifting all the way back up to standing. And hands to heart center. Now you should be feeling a little warm by now, but just to get those joints and glands nice and warmed up. So again, feet hip width apart, palms facing forward, and on an inhale, we'll lift those arms up. On an exhale, we'll forward fold. On an inhale, we'll halfway lift to a straight back. Exhaling those hands down, stepping or hopping back into your high plank. Lowering down into chaturanga. Inhaling up into cobra. Flipping those toes underneath for a downward facing dog. And again here, about 5 breaths. Using this as a resting pose. Pedaling those feet maybe, or maybe you're just working to get your heels to the ground. Don't force yourself though, we don't want any pain or strain in yoga. Holy sniffles. And when you're ready, walking or hopping your feet to your hands. And on the inhale, we'll halfway lift to a straight back. Exhaling those hands down. And on the inhale, we will rise all the way back up to standing and hands to heart center. Perfect, so you should be feeling warm right now. We just did our sun salutation routine to open up the practice. It looked really good. I'm assuming you guys look really good. And now we are going to come into tree. So for this one, I'm going to come and stand facing you because this one's a little more difficult. So when you're ready, grounding the feet to your mat, 1 foot, can't talk. This is the awkwardness I was talking about. And when you're ready, bringing 1 foot up in front, wrapping it around. Oops, that's not tree. Don't copy me. All right. When you're ready, bringing your foot up into your thigh for tree. And here, finding a spot to stare at that will help you maintain your balance is key in this one. In yoga, we call this our drishti. So finding your drishti spot so that you can maintain balance. And it also helps to counterbalance in this pose. So you will be pushing with your thigh and your foot together to maintain this. And breathing here. You can have your hands here. If you're really ambitious, you can put them over the top of your head. If you have the room, feel free. And we're just going to hold this for a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to shake it out and lower that leg down. So now we're going to do the same on the other side. So for tree on the other side, we're going to ground that 1 foot, the opposite leg this time. Taking our foot, placing it on our inner thigh here. And again, if you can't get that balance just right, don't worry, don't beat yourself up. Balance is a day-to-day, ever-changing occurrence. So then again, here, you can keep your hands in prayer. Some people like to hold their knee if you're feeling a little bit wobbly. If you can't get your leg up to here, feel free to just have it right here. This is fun as well. Nice and pointed on your knee and your foot. And when you're ready, you can lower that leg, give it a shake, give both your legs a shake. And take a nice deep breath. So now we are going to go into part of our lower body, but still standing sequence. So standing as far as you can apart, pointing your feet outward. That's kind of like, I guess like a really weird duck. You could think of it that way. And we're going to go into goddess. So once you have your feet in position, lowering down into a nice comfortable seat with your hands in prayer. Now, the important part of this pose is to remember to breathe because it's going to get friggin' burny in your quads. I can talk. So just sending that breath to your quads to make it feel a little bit better. And once you've held this pose for about 5 breaths, you can straighten your legs, point those feet forward, and we're going to go into a nice standing forward fold. So from here, with your feet pointed towards the front now, hands on your hips, we're going to take a nice forward fold. So from here, once you've gone down low enough, you can ground your hands to the mat, maybe to your ankles or shins, somewhere that feels comfortable. And here we're just going to let gravity do a lot of the work. So when you're ready, you can grab each of your elbows here and let your upper body dangle down. This is going to decompress the spine. And you'll find this pose will feel really good if you've been sitting all day or you've got a lot of lower back pain. Now when you're ready, you can release your hands, grounding them back to the mat. And on a deep breath, we'll be putting our hands back on our hips and exhaling back up to standing. All right, so that was our goddess forward fold. Now we are going to go into a warrior sequence. So keeping your feet nice and wide, we're going to point one towards the wall and keeping the other one straight, or about 30 degrees. Now when you're ready, take a nice bend in your front knee here. We're going to lift our arms up into a warrior one. So I'm just going to widen my stance here. And breathing. You want to check in with your toes, making sure that your knee hasn't gone over top of them, just to prevent some knee damage here. And again, you check in with your back leg, making sure it's nice and straight and strong. Kind of feels like you're ripping your mat into two pieces with the strength that you're putting down. And when you're ready, bringing those hands down on either side of your foot, flipping that back toe underneath, kicking back into a high plank, where we'll do a quick vinyasa into our next warrior. So lowering down into chaturanga, inhaling back up into cobra, flipping those feet underneath for a downward facing dog, where we'll bring our opposite foot forward this time. Turning that back leg to about a 30-degree angle, keeping that front one nice and pointed forward. And again, we'll take a nice deep bend in our front knee, bringing our arms up into warrior one on the other side. And here we'll breathe, again checking in on those toes to make sure we can still see them, making sure that back leg is nice and straight. And breathing here. Making sure those palms are facing each other. Maybe with each breath, we get a little bit deeper into that bend. And when you're ready, bringing those hands down on either side of your foot, flipping those toes up and underneath in the back, kicking that leg back, and we'll do a quick vinyasa here before we go into our next warrior. So lowering down into chaturanga, inhaling up into cobra, flipping those toes underneath for a downward facing dog. And here we're going to take a few breaths just as a rest after doing our warrior ones. So again, say at this point you're really tired, you can always come down to a child's pose at any point within the practice. Whether you're tired or whether you're sore or you're just lazy maybe, I don't know. Works for me. So, when you are in your cobra, coming up into a downward facing dog, we are going to kick our foot forward, keeping that one in the back, nice at a 30-degree angle. And this time, whoops, I should probably do it so that you can see me, I'm not my butt. So this time, we are going to come into a warrior two. So that is both of your arms out to the side, and having your hips face the wall. So trying to have them as parallel as you can. And breathing here. Remembering to keep that back leg nice and straight. Keeping the front one nice and bent. Checking in on those toes. Maybe we get a little bit deeper with each breath. Really getting into this pose. Really getting that stretch in the hips. And breathing. always remember that beautiful breath. And when you're ready, swinging those arms down to the other side of your foot, flipping those toes in the back up so that you can kick your front foot back. And now we'll do a quick vinyasa here. So lowering down into chaturanga, up into cobra, and exhaling into a downward facing dog, and we'll bring our opposite foot forward. So I will come over and do it on this side. All right. Keeping that back foot turned in the back to about a 30-degree angle. Bending that front knee nice and deep. And then again, lifting those arms. And just making sure those hips are parallel to the wall. Maybe with each breath on this side, we see if we can get a little bit lower. Whew, getting sweaty in here. And breathing. And when you're ready, swinging those arms over, flipping those toes in the back underneath so that we can kick back and do a quick vinyasa here. So lowering down to chaturanga, inhaling up into cobra, flipping those toes underneath for a downward facing dog, where we will rest here for 5 breaths. And breathing. Making downward facing dog your own. Again, I like to pedal to keep my legs nice and loose. It's up to you what you would like to do here. And when you're ready, walking those feet to your hands. And on inhale, we'll lift halfway to a flat back. Exhaling our hands down. And on inhale, we'll come all the way back up to standing with our hands to heart center. That was great. So next we will go into our seated positions. Excuse me while I take off my sweater. It's really hot. All right. So now we are going to come down into a garland pose to end our standing sequence. So from here, we are going to have our feet about hip width apart, maybe pigeon-toeing them a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier. And essentially, you'll put your hands in prayer and come down for a nice squat. So here you'll come down as low as you can, putting your elbows against each knee so that you can actively spread them apart. This one's also good for the hip flexors and opening the hips. And here we'll breathe, making sure our posture's still nice. Making sure that this feels good. And again, if you're struggling as I'm doing this, you can always place a block right underneath your bum and use that as to sit you up to where you would feel comfortable in this pose. Whether that be here, here, anywhere along there. You can do that. And now we are going to come into our seated sequence of this yoga class. Can't talk very well today. And we're going to come into pigeon. I love pigeon. So, from here, we are going to make an A on our mat like this. Then bring our foot forward across our bodies, leaving the back foot trailing behind nice and straight. So, from here, you are going to take a nice deep breath and lower our pigeon down to our forearms. So here you can even go further if you want, lowering that pigeon down all the way to your arms. And breathing there. It's up to you where it feels good. Don't push yourself too far. And in pigeon, we just take nice deep breaths, as this one can be quite intense on our hips. And when you're ready, we're going to just keep it nice and low, and we're going to shift our pigeon over top of our knee. Keeping it nice and low and only turning your body to where it feels good. We don't want to cause any injuries here. Remembering to take nice deep breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to keep it nice and low. Shift this pigeon over top of our foot. And now when we're here, we're just going to keep that breath flowing. Check in on our back leg, make sure it's nice and straight. Making sure that our front foot is flexed like it's on a wall. And now we'll shift our pigeon back to the front. And right here, I want to see you guys go even lower. So just lowering down as far as you can. Now that you've stretched out all those sides. And breathe in here. Taking nice big breaths and sending them to where they're needed. Whether that be in your hips right now because they're feeling kind of tight, or maybe to your thighs. And when you're ready, you're going to walk this pigeon back up towards our bodies. And when you're feeling good, you can come into the king pigeon here. So we're going to grab the back leg and bring it towards our bum. So if you can't actually grab your foot, you can just hover it like this, keeping it in the air. You'll still get a little mild stretch from that, so that's okay. But I really want you to try to grab your foot because this really increases the stretch. And breathing here. And when you're ready, releasing that back foot, placing your hands about hip width apart so that you can kick that back foot underneath to slide your front foot back. And here I like to pedal a little bit because it gets a little stiff being in that position for a while. And when you're ready, I want you to bring your opposite foot forward across your body, leaving your other leg trailing behind. Nice and straight though. And when you're ready, we're going to bring this pigeon down to our forearms, or if you are feeling ambitious, you can bring it down all the way and breathe in here. It's so important to breathe in yoga as it's the life force of this science. So just making sure that it's being used because it's so powerful. And when you're ready, we're going to keep it nice and low and take this pigeon over top of our knee. So taking it this way, we are getting a nice stretch in our hip flexors, around our thighs. Maybe a little bit in your lower back if you're feeling that, that's totally normal. And breathing here. And bringing this pigeon nice and low, all the way over top of our foot now. And here we're just going to check back with our leg, making sure everything's nice and straight in a line. And making sure that front foot is nice and flexed as if it were standing on a floor or a wall. And breathing here. And when you're ready, we're going to bring this pigeon back to the front and see if we can get down even lower than we have yet. So I want to see you guys get nice and low as you can. And even if that means it's your forearms, that's totally okay. But like I said before, I really want to see you try to get nice and stretched out. And breathing, keeping that nice breath flowing throughout your practice. And when you're ready, we're going to walk those hands back up our body, and we're going to come into king pigeon on this side. So again, just grabbing behind, latching onto your foot where it feels good, and pulling it inward. Again, if you can't do this, just leaving it right here is fine, but I'd really like you to try just to get a really good stretch out of this pose. And breathing here. This is a little tough, so I won't make you hold it too long. And releasing that foot. Now we are going to kick those toes underneath in the back so that we can kick our front foot back as well. And here I'm going to do some pedaling just because that was a lot on my leg, so I recommend you do the same. All right, now coming down to a tabletop position and coming down to your bum. So now we are going to work on the seated portion of our practice. Because I don't really consider pigeon a seated pose. We're going to do a seated forward fold. So having your feet straight out in front of you. Maybe I'll do this actually on my mat. And nice straight back. When you're ready, leaning forward to grab onto either your toe with your peace fingers, your foot with your hands, your ankle, your shin. Just reach to wherever feels comfortable. And it's okay to let your head dangle here, as this pose is called head to knee, but I do not suggest you push it that far unless it's in your practice to go that far. Don't want to see any injuries or anything. And breathing here. Maybe with each breath, we see if we can get a little bit further into our reach. Get a little bit closer. And breathing. And when you're ready, rolling yourself all the way back up to seated, maybe giving those shoulders a nice little roll. And now we will come into a cobbler's pose. So for cobbler's pose, you're going to bring the bottoms of your feet and put them together. So maybe I will shift myself again here for you. So you're putting your feet together. You can either cup your feet like this, or you can put each elbow on top of each knee, grabbing onto your ankles and pushing down like that with a little bit of gravity and a little bit of your own strength. And when you're ready, leaning forward just a little bit, I find helps with a nice straight back though. And breathing here. Really feeling those hips opening in this pose. Maybe feeling a nice stretch along your legs here. That's all totally normal. Now that we've sat in this pose for a little bit, we're going to come into a butterfly pose. So this one's really good for reducing stress and anxiety, so I highly recommend that you really, really, really come into this pose. Mind, body, and soul. So when you're ready, putting those feet together again with a bigger diamond than in cobblers. I find the bigger the diamonds, the easier it is for you to do the pose. And if you have a block handy, now you'd want to put it on your feet, just in preparation for the pose. So as we come down, we are going to come down as far as we can. So this is where the block will come in handy if you can't make it all the way. You can place it here and place your forehead on the block so that you can relax. This pose is about relaxing, so it's important that you get nice and comfy. And you can either have your arms out front, but my personal favorite is having them back with the palms up. So do whatever feels comfortable for you, and we'll sink into this pose. And breathing here. Excuse my sniffles again. Letting this pose take away your stress and anxiety this crazy world is putting you into. You can keep your eyes eyes closed for this one as well. Find it's more relaxing that way. And when you're ready, slowly bringing your upper body back up to seated. We don't want to rush, don't want any head rushes here. And now we are going to come into a nice spinal twist, so you know we're getting close to the end when cranial lays on our back. That sounded weird. Don't ever repeat that. Okay, so for here, for that spinal twist, we're going to bring our knees up and hug them into our chest first. And when we're ready, we are going to slowly release our arms into either a cactus pose, like this, halfway bend, or all the way down on the ground. And slowly roll our legs over. If you need a block for underneath your knees, please do grab one. It could make it more comfortable for you. And in this pose, you must remember that both of your shoulders have to touch the ground. So it won't work if you have one up like this. That's just kind of like you're laying in bed, not really a yoga pose. And breathing here. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can scooch those knees up as close to your chest as you can get, and that's going to give you a little pull right here, which will give you a little bit more of a challenge. So feel free to do that. And vice versa if it feels too much for you. And breathing here. When you're ready, bringing those knees back up to center. Maybe giving them a little hug and a little back massage here. And when you're ready, placing those arms back out to where you'd like to have them, and slowly releasing those legs to the other side. And once you have released them to the other side, now you can determine whether or not you want that extra challenge or not. If you did it on the other side, I suggest you do it on this side as well. So scooching those legs up to the top here for a little added stretch. And breathing here, maybe closing your eyes if you want. And breathing. And when you're ready, we'll lift those legs back up to center. And again, we're going to give them another hug and a nice little back massage here. And now we are going to jump right into Happy Baby for ending this yoga class today. So when you're ready, bringing those feet nice and high in the air, then lowering them down so that you can grab the bottoms of your feet for Happy Baby. Now I know this isn't the most attractive yoga pose, but it's not like you have a whole group of people to do it in front of, so cheers. And rolling back and forth like that Happy Baby if you want. That one just really works out your spine as well as your hip flexors here. So this was a very hip-heavy class today, but I feel like we all need it after sitting at home and self-isolation for how long now. So when you're ready, we will release our legs down to the ground and come back up to seated because I don't really think I can give you a Shavasana in a virtual yoga class. Sorry guys. So now that we have stretched out our hips from the top to the bottom, we are all good to go, and I hope you enjoyed this class. So to end it off, the light in me sees and honors the light in all of you. Namaste. And thank you for coming out today, everybody.